Hello, hello. All right, so I did not plan this stream ahead of time, so I'm not like really expecting anybody to be here, which is fine. Hopefully, my audio is working, and because that would be terrible if I'm sitting here talking and this is screeching the entire time. However, today we are going to discuss the wagging the talking dog. If you're not familiar with the term wag the dog, I think that it is very appropriate for this, quite frankly. Hey, what's up, Sure Shot Sav? Hello. Um, what up? I, it's a distraction with something less important away from, thank you so much, Kat. And hi, Meatball, and hi, Auntie Green, and hi, Don Lambert. This is, you know, pointing out what I believe is a distraction from Mrs. Wheat Carr, who has officially been commenting on my YouTube, kind of moving the target, so to speak, which is fine. I've already made it clear my opinion regarding her, and well, I'm going to show you guys some stuff directly from the Guardian's office because there was a hiccup in the chat yesterday. Virginia was trying to drop in some links, and I don't know if people can drop in links as just like regular viewers. But she was trying to send me stuff, and I guess it just kind of worked out the way that it needed to, that it didn't come up so that we could talk about it today because we're going to talk about the Guardian's office. We're going to talk about there's not an argument that we cannot find Sam Carr specifically. Sorry, Wheat, that's just not how Scientology works. We're also going to talk about their black PR, their black ops at that time. I'm not going to read the entire thing, it's long. We're not doing that. I am going to show you guys the distance from the thrift shop that the process opened to two of the New York Scientology locations. You're also going to be able to see how close it was to the other process locations too. And then we're going to talk about a very interesting character that was at the New York org where Michael Vale Carr III was. And this is going to be a very brief discussion of this person. However, if you are familiar with Paulette Cooper and some of the things that happened to her, that's where the cars were hanging out. And hello, Tom Cooper, and hi, Racine. So let's go ahead and run it.
Teach you how to whip the grain inside peanut butter, outside with the candy frame. Serving corners in this jet. I'm on a quest to touch 100 mil before I lay myself to rest. Sitting on the Glock, I turn the beam on. A savage on the fucking run, the Unabomber, wreaking heaven, singing sad songs. Red rum, murder engraved inside of my mind. Pull up to your funeral and kill everybody inside. Lock and loaded, bust a hammer, hit the nail and crucify. Tie your body up in the dungeon and make your soul mine. Death note, got a page with your name on it. Bullets flying to your head like a fucking comet. Stepping out the coffin with that golden drip, slit wrist, perp smoke, gun clip, shooting from the fucking hip, walking out the catacombs, a chip all on my shoulder, tote the chopper like a boulder, ain't nobody fucking colder. Speaking tongue when I spit this on the mic, shot up like a die, yo bitch want the pipe, it's alright, I might hit tonight, I might end your life by the knife, you gon' pay the price, I'ma dim your fucking lights and leave you hanging by the side, rap inside your mailbox and reach that you a bitch, body bagging motherfuckers that be thinking that they slick, 5'9" to the death of me, I never shall repent, hollow tip straight to your cranium, I hit another lick.
Don't forget, we are literally out here fighting demons, y'all. Hi, McClary's. Hello, hello. And let me see who else is here. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. I thought I said hi, Tom Cooper. Hi, Jay Snyder. And Peter Pan. Hello, Virginia is in the house. Yes, she is. All right. So, like I said, I'm not here to teach anybody Scientology, but you guys already know there's a very steep learning curve here. Okay. I literally have had to tell Virginia like 10 times, explain it to me like I'm 5. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Help me. Now, what I am going to give you guys, because this is in Wikileaks, if you would like to go and teach yourself all of this stuff, wheat, go for it. There you go. Okay. So there's Wikileaks. Most people know who Wikileaks is. And that's where this documentation, from what I understand, this is where Virginia got this document specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Wikileaks thing. Now, this is a Guardian's Office document. I'm going to show you guys the first page, and then we're going to jump down to the 6th page because that is what's relevant right now. So give me 1 second. And here we go. Okay, so right here. So confidential, don't really know, but do not remove from GO. So do not remove from the Guardian's office. Hey, I at least know that, right? So this is just kind of giving a breakdown of all of this. Don't know what any of it means, right? Very complicated. Now, let's go ahead and jump to page 6. Here we go. So, security of penetration people. Aside from normal action of briefing person on security, also do the following. So this is instructions, okay? Have all folders pulled on the person and stored in a safe location, or in GO, I'm assuming, including personal folders, ethics folders. Is this PC folders? I think so. Have person removed from any mailing lists. Notify us or US to have this done in other areas, including ASHO, AO, etc. If needed, do a dummy ethics order and have a copy printed for you and person backdated, declaring them, etc. Do you see this part right here? Do you see this? Dummy orders. Do you understand? This is why I do not care about the de Grimstons being declared. All that tells me is that Hubbard knows who they are. That's it. Period. Do not use the office phones for, I think, comm is communication, as they may be tapped. Brief them so they fully understand what is needed and wanted, and give them over to a competent CO. Don't know what CO means. I don't, some type of officer. So Virginia says info B1 directive. Info short for information, euphemism for intelligence. B1 Bureau 1 equals information or intelligence bureau. Thank you, Virginia. We got the queen up in here, guys. Okay, she is the queen of this information, but this was what we were trying to go over last night, or I had missed last night. And you know, it is what it is. It's certainly not the end of the world. Now, I don't really know how much I want to bounce around with this. I want to show you guys the PowerPoint again, just to drive the point home, because this is kind of wheat sticking point, I guess, in regards to like, well, that's not my dad, and blah, 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 and this and that. Here's the thing that people need to understand, and I'm absolutely not the expert in this. I'm basically like a child. Seriously, I don't understand half of it, but I do know from what Virginia has taught me and what Mike has taught me and what Lauren has helped kind of compile trying to figure this out, because Hubbard's complicated. That's not a secret. Scientology is complicated. That's not a secret, right? But what I'm going to show you guys specifically is that this course, this success story from Michael Carr in LA, Michael Samuel Carr, as I refer to him, Michael Samuel Carr II. There were 2 places in the entire world that you could get this at that time. And that does matter. The context and the time frame matters more than anything else, quite frankly. I showed you guys this last night. So this is the Auditor 110. This is April 1975. Yeah. Let's see if this is, I knew it was going to do it. Dang it. Okay, so the Incredible St. Hill Special Briefing Course. I'm not going to read this again. However, that course specifically was being offered in 2 places. One was in Europe and the UK, and the other was in LA. That's it. Makes more sense that Michael Carr would come from New York to LA than go to England. Does it not? And I'm not telling anybody what to think. I'm just saying, in the common sense of things, this makes sense. Because that is Michael Carr, or Samuel Carr, as I like to refer to him. As far as the certificates, I am going to bring this up because it was brought up yesterday and it has not been addressed today. And this is in regards to, let me find the sibling again for you guys. Hold on one second. Because, you know, Wheat left a comment, and I'm not trying to be rude or nasty. I'm really not. But she was very disrespectful of like my competence level. And I'm not claiming to be an expert on anything. I tell you guys all the time, like, I'm an idiot. But you know, stating my insinuation, my assertion of X, Y, and Z, demanding documentation from me. But what she forgets is that I have screenshots of her her communicating through someone else, insinuating that Andrew Carr was the father of Sam. So I would like clarification on that before I answer any other questions. I think that that's fair. Don't move the goalpost, Wheat. I don't play that game. Sorry. Might work with other people, but it doesn't work with me. I've already shown this. Andrew Carr, father Michael Carr, mother Helen DeJambeau, right? And then over here, we have Sam getting married. Michael Carr, Helen, or Milhana DeJambeau, right? Because they're just changing the name on everything. Yeah, they're all doing it. And then here's Pauline, right? And right over there on the right side, Michael Carr and Milhana DeJambeau. So, can you clarify? Inquiring minds would like to know. Are you still making the argument that Andrew was the grandfather, or are you changing your story again? Just curious. You know, you're over here demanding facts from me when I've sourced everything the best that I can to the best of my ability, right? Now, I want to show you guys the map really quick. Let me see if I can get this out of the way. All right, perfect. So you guys have seen, I've shown it before, and if you're familiar with the process, you know that one of their locations, even though they have multiple ones, and they're also right down the street from Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, they're very close to the United Nations. So obviously I'm going to pull it up here. You guys can see it, but they are very close. Very, very, very close. Very close to the thrift shop that the process opened, within walking distance. Remember how it was so fascinating when I found that Robert de Grimston was basically living next door to one of the earliest places offering Dianetics? Yeah. So this is relevant, and nobody's going to tell me that it's not, because that became super relevant, right? Okay, now let this load, hopefully. Okay, so here, if I get laggy, I am very sorry. So this spot is the thrift shop. And up here, let me zoom out. Because see, it wants to take you this like long, silly way. Here, see this one? This is the process's thrift shop. This is the one that was listed in the LaRouche article. Okay. Right here, this is one of the New York locations. Okay. And then over here, Scientology's locations. Okay. And here we go. There's the other one. Now, in total, what did that say? It was 2.1 miles altogether between all three. 13 minutes, yeah? Now, let's zoom this bad boy out. Oh, you better stop freezing on me. Thank you. Okay. Oh, and look right there. There's the United Nations, right? So the process was in the Murray Hill area, right here. They had 2 churches, and then they had another location a little bit up here, and Epstein's not that far away. That flower shop that was funding Phoenix House and was helping train those kids, they were also very close. But seriously, do you see how close everything is? This is not a coincidence, nor is it, I mean, it could be a matter of convenience, as far as like who's pulling the puppet strings, quite frankly. But I can't really prove that one way or the other. Intel is complicated, compartmentalized to make it that way on purpose. That is absolutely right, Jay Snyder. Let me see. And need passports to go to the UK, don't need those to go to LA. Direct flights from LaGuardia, easy. What kind of name is Wheat? I don't know. I'm not hating on her name. You know what I mean? I'm really not. But oh, hi ivermectin. I didn't see you. I'm so sorry. I just saw you up there at the top of the chat. Hola, hello. It's okay that you're late. No worries. This was kind of like a last minute thing. You know what I mean? I don't even know I'm not like trashing her name. I don't like her. I don't think that she's a trustworthy person. I've already told you guys that reading through the newspapers show to me, in my personal opinion, she's not trustworthy. I'm not telling anybody else to make a character judgment against her, but I am allowed to have my own opinion about these things. I am of the opinion that Sam Carr is Michael Samuel Carr, period. Wheat said that, like, I need to produce official documents, X, Y, and Z, but I thought that Andrew Carr was the grandfather, right? Like, she keeps changing the goalpost and moving the marker. And I don't play those games because I like factual reporting. And I'm not connecting dots that don't exist. And I don't want to hear that crap either, because the ex-Scientology community has been telling me that since day one. And look at all the dirt that we've uncovered, period. Let me see. What year was this, Dana? Which part are you referring to? The New York org? I believe this is in the early 70s. Yep, there we go. 1974 was the thrift shop. Probably started in late 73, since the Process magazine cited as announcing it was January 1974. So, yeah, this is all getting right into the time. Right? Seems super duper convenient that this is all happening, around the time of, preceding these crimes, quite frankly. Now, I'm going to go back to the Guardian's office document just so you guys can see what kind of activity they were involved in. Because, we haven't talked about the buttons and stuff here. I'm going to, discuss with Mike in Virginia at some point, because obviously we're going to be doing a log series on L. Ron Hubbard's fascinating intelligence history, because it is such a just magical tale. And again, hats off to the man still running the most successful intelligence operation in the world. But that will literally be when we can walk away from this for a long time, because it's so complicated and so complex. But eventually, I want to be able to like do a bit more of a detailed series about some of Mike's experiences that he's willing to share. I already have that MK Ultra one about what Mike was dealing with the anti-cult movement, specifically with gosh, I can't think of the name of the drug, but where spines were being broken, right? Yeah, that's what Mike was rejecting in leaving the church, not joining them, right? Because you only have two choices. You either come back or you go with the controlled opposition. Now, let's get back on task. So, right here, this is for the Black Ops. Yes, Anectine. Thank you so much, Virginia. So, data needed by Ops, I guess, OPS, on each located who. Don't understand these words, guys. Don't rake me over the coals. If you're a Scientologist and you understand it, or a former one, great. I don't want to understand all of these. However, standard ODO with a time track. So as far as I understand, the time track is basically a timeline, whether it's their life or a specific period of time or a specific operation. Okay. And then criminal background, financial involvements, inflow and outflow of money, legal involvements, summary of actions, terminal's main interests, personal habits, fears, vices, and any other items of interest. Friends and enemies on the terminal's first dynamic friends and enemies on the terminal's second dynamic groups that the terminal belongs to, and any groups or terminals who are enemies of that group. I don't understand half of this crap. So to me, as a lay person, as a hillbilly in the woods, they're looking for my friends and my enemies, and they're kind of categorizing them as who's a priority, who they think is a high value target. And second dynamic group, I'm assuming maybe churches, business. I don't know. I don't know. But what the terminal considers valuable and is protecting. To me, this sounds like the buttons, the protect button, right? We talked about that on another channel, but specifically, what are you trying to protect? What's valuable to you? What can I antagonize you with, right? So those are the buttons. Simple org board, the terminal is on, clearly noting his position and his seniors and noteworthy juniors. What persons have the power to fire terminal from the position he holds? So, like, who's your boss? Do we need to become friends with your boss? I'm assuming. Any rules or regulations that, if broken, would cause the terminal to lose his job or position. I think that's kind of cut and dry. Any regulations concerning licenses that the terminal holds that would cause him to lose his license if violated. And it gives the example of medical. That's perfect. So I'm a nurse, I'm a registered nurse. So I assume, I don't know what's a crazy example. Maybe someone comes into the hospital and pretends that they're me and they give somebody bad medication, right? Or they do something wrong and harm a patient. That would be something that would violate my license, or steal the drugs, right? Because sometimes after a long day, yeah, I'm accidentally walking out with narcotics. If it's a long day and I've got it in my pocket, I've had it happen. And yeah, you have to come back and you have to give it back, or else, it's you're going to jail time. I'm just kidding. It's not real jail, but that's what I call it. So, scandals, conflicts, disputes directly or indirectly connected to the terminal. I think that that's interesting. Who are you arguing with? Scandals. Are you maybe being a little bit of a hoe? Are you being a Thotiana? Or maybe financial scandals? I don't know. Documents that show criminality, cheating on income taxes, discrediting data in personal letters, use of drugs, etc. And that is it. And second dynamic is sex and children. Thank you so much for clarifying. Second dynamic, solo assist, is my favorite. I don't know what these things mean. And having nurses file reports that the doctor is outside smoking, making patients wait. That was done to Virginia's father repeatedly. Well, see, that's a less extreme example. That's a less extreme example. I was thinking take it all the way, but maybe it's because I got Paulette Cooper on the mind. Which I mean, obviously, a false bomb threat to Henry Kissinger is not the equivalent of misdosing a patient, but I'm just saying, that's fine. And hello, Annie Kurtz, and hey, Forensics, and hi, Jane in Scotland, and hi, Robert Gilman. Don't feel like just lurking. Catching alive is rare. Hey, well, welcome, Robert. I'm so glad that you're here. Hi, JD Lotus. Solo assist equals masturbation. Okay, well, ivermectin, then I guess it makes sense that, what did you say? Viagra is the safest drug and the best drug, so that makes sense. Ivermectin, I can't stand you. You're my favorite. You're one of my favorite people on the internet, but I can't stand you. Let me see what Forensics said. I have seen forms for questionnaires and evaluations developed by Daesh when they took over entire cities and towns. They would force people to fill tons of questionnaires. I don't know what Daesh is. I'm sorry. Hi, Amy Cheapo. Hello. How are you? I haven't seen you in so long. Viagra is the best recreational drug. Okay. All right. That's what I thought. You guys are So silly, but you make me laugh, and I appreciate it. Now, let me pull up. Hi, Nachikita. I always feel like I'm going to say that wrong. Hello, it's so nice to see you. Okay, now we are going to pull up specifically, and I've got to get my notes because this is not a long stream, guys. I'll hang out and talk with you in the chat if you want. That's completely fine. But I want to get the information out first. As far as the stuff that leads into some things with Paulette Cooper, not going to really go into it today. Okay. Not going to happen. This is going to be very vague, but just kind of planting the seed. And it's also a reminder for me, even though I know Virginia will remind me specifically of what was going on at the New York organization, because you just look at everything and you think, okay, they're just giving out these courses everywhere, right? No. It's very complicated. So, sorry, right now, Michael Samuel Carr, clear number, 1405, 1968 in Los Angeles, baby. That's him. That's the Sam, son of Sam. That's him. Are people getting their panties because, Michael Samuel Carr was literally in the same place as the Process Church of the Final Judgment and Charles Manson and Jolly West? I don't know. Don't know. But let me pull up this Auditor magazine. So I will scoot down. I want you guys to see the first page because I think that it's important for you guys to see it. All right. So let me pull it back up and get the first page up really quick, and then we'll jump down because she is on page 9. Okay. And zoom out. And let us not forget, because I'm going to figure out how to include that auditor. That was that Prussian blue. That was so beautiful and trippy. I'm going to try to figure out how to add it to my background here somehow. I don't know. All right. So we are going to look at auditor number 58. The Monthly Journal of Scientology, 1970. The year of brilliant new discoveries and the full use of Scientology tech. These old papers, they're, well, I mean, not papers necessarily, but these auditor magazines. Do what Ron says. Come to Asho for new power. I don't know. Maybe we will scroll through it because I kind of love it. And there he is, the man himself, doing the most. The spookiest of spooks, full speed ahead. And here they are discussing the St. Hill Special Briefing Course at Asho. Look at that. Get trained. Rawr. Yeah. So much fun. I mean, the man was good at propaganda. So that's a double page, unless this slipped back up. And, I mean, they just love documenting all of this stuff. You know what I mean? They really did. Look at them. Look at them having a good time. Look at them. They're saying, man, we love Scientology. We're not doing anything suspicious at all. Honestly, her outfit is really doing it for me. Love that so much. And here is in the UK, because I love old pictures. I love it. I love it. Now, don't you do that. All right, now let me look her up because we're not looking through this whole thing because I know I'm going to get laggy. Here we go. So, org news. Now, right here, New York. Okay. You see that they're giving all these different categories of who has graduated certain courses, blah, 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 blah. Right? Right here. Miss Molly Harlow. Okay. So, who is she? Why does she matter? And again, not getting a deep dive today. Sorry, don't feel like doing it. Too time consuming. But Miss Molly Harlow was married to Jeffrey Kim Marino. Now, Jeffrey Kim Marino went by Don Alverzo. Okay. But he also went by a name, Jeff Levine. This individual was pretending to be Paulette Cooper's boyfriend. He was trying to convince Paulette Cooper to take her life. This was an op that was being run. A lot of people know who Paulette Cooper is. That was the reference to the fake bomb threat with Henry Kissinger that I was discussing. So that woman in the New York org where Michael Vale Carr most definitely was, that's what they were doing. Okay? That's the kind of stuff that they were running, the kind of operations that they were engaging in. And eventually, I will come on and we will talk about this. Because I told you guys it's going to be some weird random name. The Robert Miller, still think that the Robert Miller connection to Michael Vale Carr in that photo, Michael Vale Carr III, I still absolutely think that that is relevant. And we're still looking into it. These things are not going to come easy. It is what it is. But it's just really fascinating that while Michael Vale Carr III is in the New York org, we also have black ops being ran on Paulette Cooper. Now, Miss Molly Harlow. If you know who Karen de la Carriere is, or the Black Widow art dealer provocateur, as I call her, Heber Jench's former wife, whatever, I'm going to show you a photo that Virginia sent me, just so you guys can see what kind of ilk these people associate with. And there is Molly Harlow as part of Karen and Heber Jench's wedding. Yeah. I would say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. So, I'm going to address a comment here. I'm really hoping that it pops up. Dang it, it's not. Okay. So, Ramona in the chat is saying that someone else's last live was about child trafficking, and his chat was talking about Mark Fisher. Now they say that person is missing. I do not know the details of this individual being missing. What I will tell you guys is that I provided that information. And who gave me that information? Virginia McClary. Virginia McClary gave the information to me about Mr. Mark Fisher. I was able to go into the corporate records and identify that the LLC, Land of Smiles, did in fact belong to Mr. Mark Fisher. So I don't think that anything about what is going on with someone maybe being missing, maybe not, has literally anything to do with that at all. That's just my opinion. I think that it's irrelevant. I think that people live their lives and maybe he's having a good time. Maybe he's not. I don't know. I don't wish ill upon him. Obviously, I want him to be safe. But I'm just saying, don't think that it has anything to do with that because I've already talked about it. I've also made threads about it on Twitter where you can actually see the citations. Shown on Twitter some pages that people have not seen. But if you really know how to dig in the archive and manipulate that, not manipulate it, but you know where to look, then you can see some really, really dark stuff. But I thought that a gentleman should handle that topic, but I'm the one that provided that, and so did Virginia. So don't think that that's relevant to the situation, but I hope he's okay. I hope he's safe. And who knows? I hope he's having a great time. That's what I hope. If he's doing something, I hope that he's having fun. Now let me see. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know anything about all of these people. Of all the names, Land of Smiles. Yeah, well, when you're a disgusting pervert who engages in sex tourism, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. The dude's a scumbag. Uh, all of those people are, quite frankly. And yes, that is Heber and Karen. Sure is. Sure is. Yeah. And somebody else had started, refuting on Twitter. I'm done with showing you guys stuff. So we'll just talk now. And you guys tell me when to shut up. So, somebody had brought up on Twitter in regards to Heber being a polygamous Mormon. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I showed you guys a long time ago on another channel that I found a letter from Heber Jensch in the newspaper where he was speaking out against laws that were coming down about polygamy and how it was going to isolate many of the servicemen, veterans within his community. Heber was a polygamous Mormon from a prominent family. So no, I'm not making anything up. And Heber got the fast track too. Okay. It is what it is. But I'm not making things up. But I did tell that person to go read a newspaper and quit accusing me of lying. Seriously, it's a joke. And that person accused you of stealing his research. Perhaps he's hiding from us. Oh, well, I've heard that he did, and I don't know. He said that I'm like out of my league. But I'm coming on here, and for the most part, occasionally we will read an article from somewhere just to kind of see what people are saying, but I'm the process person, not asking for a pat on the back, not claiming authority to anything. However, I have been able to prove things that other people have not. I didn't steal anything from him. Pretty sure that he just like played videos and like read from Program to Kill in a couple articles, so whatever. Anyways, I'm not here to argue about that. Still married to Karen in Wikipedia. Yeah, well, you guys already know what I think about Heber. You guys already know what I think. I think that, I think that Heber was taken, just like I think Hubbard was taken. And I don't think that these people are innocent. However, when they're elderly, that bothers me. I'm a nurse. I have a soft spot for elderly people. I have literally had to take care of people that just like murdered other people. That all gets checked at the door. I am there to take care of you and try to get you better. The law deals with the rest. But especially with elderly people, no. No, and I don't buy it because people keep changing their stories. I think that the entire X community, the people that buy into that, they're full of crap. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to read these messages here. Where is Shelly? Where is Heber? Where is Dougie? Yeah, I don't know why, they want to take the church at their word that Heber's in a nursing home, but they don't believe the church about Shelly, unless you guys know something that the rest of us don't, which I think is the case, if you know what I mean. Let me see. Went back to look at the process mags. Number 5 especially has wild similarity to the Scientology graphics in the Auditor. So many threads and rabbit holes, it's overwhelming. Yes, Danny Crook, it is. It truly is. But once you realize that, they're basically the same, it's a dark mirror, but they are basically the same, then it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm not telling anybody what to think. I'm not. I don't care what people think. But I do care about the truth. I'm not stealing anybody's research. And I will say this. I am grateful for people who write books, right? I'm not going to give somebody a hard time for keeping their information. They're writing a book. I love books. What would we do without books? Someday they're going to shut down the internet. I want to be able to have books. But I'm not laying claim to anything. And if you're discussing things online, If you're excited about something, that's awesome. You guys remember how excited I was to find Robert de Grimston on that ship manifest? I completely lost my mind. But I had to prove who he was because I didn't believe his story, right? Now, I could sit here and be like, well, I proved that. I'm right. I'm laying claim to this and that. Boop, 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 boop. I'm not. This is why I take you guys along for the ride. If I'm wrong about something, tell me. If I'm right, or if you have like another, area that you think is relevant. I'm not making promises that that's where I'm going to go. I tell you guys respectfully, it's not a DJ booth, not taking requests, but I value you guys' contributions because we are all going on this journey together. So I'm not going to change the way that I do this. I'm not going to change the way that I engage with my chat. I don't like the concept of pre-recording things because you guys bring up fascinating points because you guys are freaking smart and you guys are much smarter than me about other topics. You know what I mean? We all have things that we're naturally drawn to and that we naturally like thrive mentally as far as understanding. I have had words with that person. Well, thanks, JD Lotus, for having my back. Dang, I appreciate that. Because a lot of people don't, whatever. People love to be silent. And yes, research is open by default. It absolutely is. It's active research, it's open research. I'm not going to come in here and, throw a hissy fit. Go for it. You can literally like download these episodes, take screenshots, whatever. Go crazy. Could I consider maybe like trying to write something someday? Sure. But you guys literally witness how I have the attention span of a goldfish. So how do you think that's going to go if I sit down and try to write something? Yeah, it's not going to go well. I've been working on a book about my life since I was 14. Still not even close to being done. Like 3 chapters. That book ain't getting finished. You know what I mean? But that's all that I have, guys. And that's why I didn't time it. That's why I did not, put this up and have a bunch of people waiting and X, Y, and Z. Okay? Because this is me coming in, providing the information, keeping it very simple, very concise. Okay? Because again, I will state, if Carr wants to challenge me, and I'm happy to be taken to task, but your word means nothing. And I have shown, and I have screenshots, happy to post them. Maybe I'll post them in the community section. But I have shown, and I will show later, that there was, in my personal opinion, a purposeful misrepresentation of Mr. Andrew Carr. I would like you to address that. I don't think that that's irrelevant and it gets swept under the rug. Why was that done? Okay, let's start there. And then you're demanding birth certificates from me. Where's your birth records of your father? I would also like to know what happened to your aunt and why people don't talk about your aunt passing away apparently in a hospital, but her death certificate is also redacted just like your brother's. Because I've already told you guys. I think that Wheat knows a lot more than she's letting on. I think that she is using the fact that she is a female to her advantage because women love to put on the I'm a delicate flower and I need to be handled with child gloves when it's convenient for them because women can be very manipulative. Now, I'm not giving men a pass. However, I am dealing with a female specifically, so I understand. I don't play that game. You want to come at me? You want to go at it? Let's do this. And we can do it respectfully. Don't disrespect my intelligence. Because I have provided plenty of receipts. And again, this is just scratching the surface, guys. We have so much more to go through. Because now we really have to look into a deep history of the New York organization specifically. I'm got to look at Phoenix House. Also got to look at like Synanon and Daytop and the process and all of the people involved, a lot of the people that I've shown you. I have to go back and do deeper dives on some of them. Because this is kind of like the hub from what I see. This is the hub of what's going on as we get closer to the time of the Son of Sam crimes in particular. There's a lot of funky stuff going on. And it's not just by chance that they're all pretty much within walking distance. It's just not. It's just not. And yes, women are the worst. They are. Let's not forget Miss Ghislaine Maxwell, who is sitting in prison for trafficking people to nobody, right? Hey, Thrash, this is probably going to end soon, so I'm sorry. This was just a random thing. And what strikes me is that if all of this was possible pre-internet, what groups are capable of doing even wilder stuff now that you don't need to meet up, plan, etc. in the real world? Yeah, well, the whole, like, Dawn has talked about it, like, and so has Jay Snyder, like voice to skull technology. People want to sit there and act like that's crazy. Read some documentation. The stuff that they tell us about, they are 50 years ahead, statistically 25 to 50 years ahead of what they even let us know about. Okay. So these things are not out of the question, but people like to paint it as anointed or super conspiratorial, like it's, a derogatory term. No, it's not. Just say you don't like to read. It's not everybody else's problem. But that doesn't mean that you need to be disrespectful to people. I find it quite unnecessary. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to have to come on and talk about Heber. We're going to include it because I am going to show whatever. It's not going to be like a crazy deep dive, but I am going to show that, yes, Heber was a polygamous Mormon. And the whole, he was just the president, but that was just a title and it's irrelevant. Shut up. No, it's not. No, it's not. He was the president. I think it's real weird that people now are saying that it's like, it doesn't really matter. And I read through the new submitted or changed legal documentation for Miss Leah Ramini's lawsuit. It's fascinating how she tightened that up. I'm going to show you guys my old PDF where I highlighted things maybe someday, and we'll look at what she added because I'm like, this lawsuit is garbage. She's not making any sense. And I think that it's just her blaming the church for the failures of her career, but whatever. But Heber's still not in there. Still not in there. They have written him out of the history of it. I don't care how many people come on and say otherwise, because the archives are forever and the newspapers are forever. You know what I mean? It's just how I feel. Just because you say it didn't happen doesn't mean that it didn't. Let me see what you said. You're diving into a vast myriad of spider webs. Yonkers and Westchester County had so many children homes and group therapy. Yeah, well, we're going to be getting into a lot of that. A lot of that. Because previously, I guess I'll try to end here. I was doing research about that SRA case out of Utah and the individual that was just indicted back by Interpol. And, his story, his actual factual story, shows the trafficking that was going on through those facilities. It's no secret. Going coast to coast. I think that's kind of what inspired me to make my Franklin Scandal schizo clip today. Because I'm just like, man, the internet still says that it's not true, that it's fake news, false. No, it's not. Because eventually someday I am going to come on here and I'm going to talk about all the research that I did about those facilities and the things that were happening. And it is absolutely horrific. It will break your heart. But people need to know, because I think that it will also help ground some of this in reality. Because this is a bit more of the barbarism of medicine and group therapy. Not that some of it isn't barbaric now, but these were, They were shifting MK Ultra, underground, whatever. No, they weren't. They've never stopped it, but it is what it is. What do I want to do next? Well, I don't really know. We'll discuss Heber. We have a lot more to discuss about Son of Sam. This was random. Wanted to keep it short. Hi, Welsh Republic. Hello. It's so nice to see you. I don't know what time it is where you are. If Wheat wants to refute me, like I said, bring your receipts. I am not going to sit here and comment back and forth on things I've already discussed. I highly suggest you go watch my other videos before you bring any other points up, because I have spent a lot of time putting this stuff together. And quite frankly, the whole like, boo-hoo, like we were victims, boo, 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 boo. Don't care. Don't care. Doesn't work here. Sorry, not going to work. I don't care what you say. I will probably this weekend, I kind of want to veer off, unless something comes up about Mr. Michael Samuel Carr II or Michael Vale. I kind of want to get into some of the late Dr. Gadusek. Because, man, people love to say that that is completely irrelevant. I want to talk about it a little bit, and we can come back to it. That is the gentleman that is implicated in the Terry Maury files, Maury Terry, whatever, where they are discussing the trafficking of children up from Mexico. The guy that was studying cannibalism, yeah, who did get arrested and did go to jail. Because there's some people out here who think that that dude is just like completely irrelevant. But I think it's really interesting when we consider, if we're coming up from Mexico, the process is already well established in Houston specifically. And then who else do we have? Oh, the Candyman. And then who else is established in Chicago? Oh, the process. And who else is there? Oh, John Wayne Gacy. Sorry. It is what it is. And then I think after that, eventually, just to let you guys know, I will be coming on here to talk about the current like ex-Scientology community, because I have some old research on that stuff, but I figure I will come on here and talk about it, because whatever, some people are talking about it now, like RFK, that's fine. I've already talked about him being involved with the Epstein and Ghislaine. Don't care. Think that the whole Scientology angle is really dark. I'm going to come on here and separate the other wheat from the chaff, because I'm going to show you guys why Alex Jones should not be trusted for a very solid reason. And that solid reason is the Church of Scientology. I'm sorry. That was a very sad day for me when I put all of that together, but we'll come on. We'll talk about some of the more current stuff. I want to also discuss Mr. Mike Rinder, Child USA, and their financial ties to Ghislaine Maxwell's Terramar, which was her nonprofit, trying to do like weird stuff on the bottom of the ocean, like some Atlantis type stuff. But I want to come on and I want to talk about those financial ties as well, because quite frankly, I think that we're going to see a really fascinating consistency of traffickers being involved with these individuals. So, and I'm not saying that like it's Mike Rinder's implicated in that, but I think that the public has a right to know that he's on a board of Child USA, because I did a really deep dive on Child USA and something screwed up happened with that nonprofit, because her tax records were chef's kiss. She detailed everything every time she held like, I don't know, like a party or gave out pamphlets. This little old lady, like they were perfect. They were all handwritten. She did such a good job. And then a bunch of sus lords came in and basically bought her out and kind of kicked her off of the board and turned it into what it is today, which in my opinion, I think that Child USA is super scummy. It gives me major not anti-cult, it's literally like anti-religion, which Chris Shelton recently had a guest on his show who was equating, and he kind of was, in my personal opinion, equating any sort of theological belief system with child abuse? Like, what? Okay, be a fatalist, be a nihilist, go for it. I'm sure that it's really healthy, really healthy. How about you just mind your own business and let people do what they want to do and let them believe what they want to believe? Because you guys already know, I just think that this whole anti-cult, ex-cult, whatever, it's these people trying to keep a job because they don't talk about the intelligence ties specifically. As far as an anticipated date of Mr. Alex Jones, no. Uh, that one, we're gonna have to kind of prepare for that, where I let you guys know one of the topics that was the catalyst for that. I'm not gonna be able to say the words on here. I might be able to show the picture. It involves an event, a mass casualty event at a school. But man, it is freaking fascinating that he was having to pay all that money in court. And here comes one of Scientology's cutouts to save the day. It's completely insane to me. But there's other stuff involved with Alex Jones that, I lost a lot of respect for him and I didn't watch him anymore. But again, we'll save that for another day. Let me make sure I didn't. Chris Shelton hates anything decent and moral. Yeah, he really does. He really does. It's not about the bioweapon. It's not about that. It's about a mass casualty event at a school. So it is what it is. But we're going to leave it here for now because I could literally ramble for hours. And I don't want to do that. I want to read one more thing from Danny. Where did you go? Where was it? Oh, you were okay. Miss Remini's initial doc for her suit was written like a fever dream and was void of specifics. Dude, yeah, seriously. And yes, Norman, what was his name? Norman Ward. Norman Ward. Dang it. I don't know I don't know the last name, but I know who you're talking about. They were running a trafficking ring. That's what I'm saying. I want to figure out if Gadusek is involved in that. Because that documentary, that Clown and the Candyman makes no bones about that being a massive trafficking operation. And when I said the Son of Sam peeps yesterday, I meant the people that had the information that went to wherever platform they went and signed the deal. Because maybe I'll show you guys in the Son of Sam files next time the non-disclosure agreement that was included. Because I have that too. It's a blank one. There's nobody's signature on it. But another researcher or investigator out here made the audacious claim that they wanted the files to be public so that the conspiracy theorists would stop. I already said I don't think that's true because there's a lot of heinous stuff in there about some people that have reached out on my channel specifically. Yeah, I already mentioned that yesterday. But maybe I'll go ahead and show the non-disclosure agreement. Because why would you have that? If you guys just want to get the truth out there, what is there to hide? Right? We're going to get the truth here. And I have nothing to hide at all. Some say I'm too transparent. But I don't give a damn because guess what? I never have to worry about keeping my story straight. And that makes my life a hell of a lot easier. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go ahead and run the exit, guys. Thank you for joining in and thank you for your patience. Thank you, Virginia, for writing this out and giving all this information. Guys, please go check out their blog. And eventually, like I said, we'll be doing some more series on topics from their blog. And when I'm able to do memberships, I'm not really into like having people pay to be on my channel, but if we figure out a way to do an interview or a talk with them, that will be a members only thing. So I will talk to you guys very, very soon.